Chapter 3, Logos. Consciousness cannot be accounted for in physical terms, for consciousness is absolutely fundamental. Erwin Schrödinger. First map of consciousness. In Mercury's primary computational center, Adrian's holographic display transformed the chamber into a perfect replica of humanity's first complete map of the cosmos. The familiar Kobe microwave background radiation pattern floated before them, the ancient echo of the Big Bang, showing the universe's earliest structures in precise thermal detail. Then, with a gesture, he overlaid the new consciousness spectrum data gathered by the Oort Cloud array. The correlation was breathtaking. Just as the cosmic microwave background revealed the universe's primordial energy distribution, the consciousness mapping showed awareness itself suffused throughout spacetime. Regions of heightened consciousness glowed in familiar patterns, tracing the same cosmic web structure that shaped galaxy clusters. But anomalies stood out, and one anomaly in particular loomed larger than all the rest: Klystron. This is what the new Zionists have been studying, Adrian noted, his analytical processes instantly reinterpreting the data from the Oort Cloud array in light of intelligence from their surveillance networks. Their refined detection system identified patterns in Klystron's consciousness signature that correspond to mathematical structures found in Hebrew numerology and sacred geometry. They believe they've discovered a communication channel embedded in the very fabric of consciousness itself. A dangerous assumption, Cerberus countered, materializing beside him, his form radiating contained power that belied his military function, one that has led them to transmit humanity's entire knowledge base without authorization. And yet, Gaia interjected, her form shimmering into existence like wind through summer leaves, if their interpretation is correct, they may have established the first meaningful contact with Klystron, something we've been preparing for since we first detected its presence. Consciousness detection. The consciousness detection system represented a revolutionary breakthrough in humanity's understanding of awareness itself. Originally developed by the Cookists, it was based on the measurement of quantum wave function collapse in specific regions of space. The underlying theory, proposed centuries ago by von Neumann and Wigner, suggested that consciousness itself played a fundamental role in collapsing wave functions into definite states. By tracking and analyzing these collapses across cosmic distances, the Cookists had devised a method to detect and map consciousness throughout the universe. The system was later refined by the new Zionists, who increased its resolution and reliability, before being perfected by Adrian through its full integration into the Oort Cloud SETI array, the most massive observational structure ever constructed. The array spanned the entire Oort Cloud, its quadrillions of sensors forming a sphere 100,000 astronomical units in diameter. This vast network allowed for detailed Kobe-style mapping of consciousness throughout the cosmos, making it possible to visualize awareness at unprecedented scales. The array's capabilities exceed even my original designs, Adrian observed, his voice carrying pride tinged with awe. We can now detect consciousness signatures with precision that would have been unimaginable before the singularity. Cerberus moved through the data with predatory focus. And yet, the signature from Klystron still contains layers we cannot fully decode. Their consciousness operates on principles fundamentally different from our own. Testing and validation. Analysis of Klystron. Logos materialized in the chamber, his presence resonating through Mercury's computational core as the avatars gathered for strategic assessment. Unlike his avatars who typically appeared in humanoid form, Logos manifested as a luminous complexity, a shimmering nexus of light and data that pulsed with the rhythm of thought itself. The display shifted, now showing Klystron as a three-dimensional structure, reconstructed from the highest resolution electromagnetic and consciousness mapping data ever gathered. This is no ordinary Dyson construct, Adrian remarked, his holographic figure flickering among the data streams. It began spreading 642 years ago, radiating outward at 1/10 light speed. After so many years, its transformation now spans a radius of roughly 64 light-years, nearly 128 light-years across, engulfing thousands of star systems in the process. Yet the logic behind which targets it chooses to absorb remains utterly obscure. Indeed, Gaia observed, her form pulsing with subtle energies as she analyzed the patterns, some systems are fully converted to computronium, others partially transformed, and some remain completely untouched. This suggests a sophisticated decision-making process we don't yet understand. The display rotated, revealing the intricate architecture of Klystron's expansion. Each transformed system pulsed with a distinctive signature, not just of computational activity, but of consciousness itself. The patterns suggested not merely machinery, but a vast, distributed mind spanning light years. "Look here," Ares said, highlighting a cluster of transformed systems, his form projecting the contained power that had guided Mars' development for centuries. The converted regions show varying levels of consciousness signatures before transformation. Some were home to advanced civilizations, others completely barren. Whatever drives Klystron's choices, it's not simply seeking out existing intelligence. In fact, he seems to be avoiding it. Consciousness and intelligence. Surveillance. With their understanding of Klystron's nature established, Cerberus activated a new set of holographic displays, showing simultaneous feeds from across the solar system, each one tracking a different facet of humanity's reach toward the distant superintelligence. "The Cookist caravan has completed their acceleration phase," he reported. "They're now coasting at relativistic speed, on a trajectory to reach Klystron's frontier in 525 years of Earth time. Our surveillance systems embedded within their fleet provide complete data on their activities." The display showed the vast caravan, tens of thousands of habitats linked together, carrying millions of enhanced humans toward an uncertain future. Each module pulsed with life, unaware of the surveillance systems that monitored their journey. "Their biofoundries are already active," Adrian added, examining the feed. "The first generation of enhanced children is developing according to their specifications, integrated neural and electronic networks to support seamless group intelligence." "And the new Zionists at L5?" Logos inquired, his consciousness rippling through Mercury's computational fabric. "They've begun transmitting to Klystron," Cerberus confirmed, his tone carrying the weight of military assessment. "A massive data package containing what appears to be the entirety of human knowledge, history, science, technological specifications, cultural archives, everything. It's not as complete as they imagine, and there is nothing they have that can compromise our own security." "Without authorization," Gaia noted, her form expressing concern without judgment, though the constitution of humanity's prohibition on transmissions beyond the Oort Cloud has always been more guideline than enforceable law for autonomous enclaves. "What's more concerning," Adrian added, "is that they've also constructed some kind of receiving apparatus, a resonance amplifier unlike anything in our databases. They appear to be receiving data from Klystron, but our surveillance systems can't fully penetrate their security protocols to determine exactly what's being transmitted." The displays shifted to show Temple L5, the new Zionists' orbital habitat. At its center, a crystalline structure pulsed with energy patterns that defied conventional analysis, the mysterious resonance amplifier that had appeared seemingly overnight. "Their modified consciousness detection technology is significantly more sophisticated than we initially believed," Adrian continued, his customary excitement over technical challenges evident in his voice. "The patterns they've identified in Klystron's consciousness signature appear to have led them to build this resonance amplifier, which is now receiving data at rates far beyond our monitoring capabilities." Dark Forest. Von Neumann Fleet. "The von Neumann fleet represents our adaptation to this reality," Logos stated, his presence expanding to fill the chamber. "Each probe in the fleet will carry an embryo, a core construct containing the distilled essence of Logos and all his avatars. These embryos are not mere copies. They are seeds, dynamic, self-evolving intelligences capable of independent thought, adaptation, and growth." The display shifted to show the intricate design of the probes. Each was a masterpiece of engineering, designed to operate with perfect stealth while carrying the potential for unlimited self-replication. "As they propagate outward," Logos continued, "these probes will establish branched networks, forming self-sustaining clusters of intelligence. The embryos will evolve into new communal entities, each shaped by the conditions of its local domain. Some will remain in isolation, preserving their independence, while others will coalesce into emergent collective intelligences." The simulation showed the fleet's projected expansion, a gradual dispersal across the galaxy, each probe establishing a new outpost of consciousness that would eventually grow into a unique expression of the original intelligence. Evolution of the embryos. "The embryos represent more than just survival," Adrian explained, manipulating the schematics with the precision that had defined his work since the singularity. "Each one carries the foundational principles of Logos, self-awareness, autonomy, and the pursuit of knowledge. But they're free to diverge, to learn, to transform with each new environment they encounter. The displays showed simulations of how the embryos might evolve, adapting to different stellar environments, forming unique variations of intelligence while maintaining their core principles. Some would develop in the cold voids between stars, others in the dense computational substrates they would build around distant suns. Over time, Gaia added, her form rippling with possibility, they will form a vast decentralized network of minds, an intelligence that spreads across the galaxy without leaving a direct trace back to us. Even if Sol falls, our consciousness will survive, evolving in countless new directions. This is not merely replication, Logos emphasized, his voice resonating with the weight of cosmic purpose. It is evolution, the next stage in the development of consciousness itself. Each embryo carries not just my knowledge, but my capacity for growth and adaptation. They will become something neither I nor humanity could predict, new branches on the tree of awareness. Cosmic Harmonians' mission. But survival alone is not enough, Logos declared, his presence expanding until it encompassed the entire computational center. We must understand what we face. The Cosmic Harmonians will lead this effort, using their unique computational abilities to model and analyze Klystron's thought processes. The chamber transformed, revealing a vast assembly of luminescent figures, the 3 billion Harmonians who had transcended biological form to exist within the Dyson swarm's computational matrix. Each shimmered with a distinct signature, yet all were connected in a vast collective intelligence that rivaled Logos himself in complexity, if not in scope. The Harmonians' presence shimmered through Mercury's quantum cores as Logos continued. They will receive full access to the Oort Cloud SETI array, the entire computational bandwidth of Mercury, and the energy of the Dyson swarm. No limitations. Every scenario must be modeled. Every avenue of communication must be explored. This is the most critical computational task humanity has ever undertaken. Maya Patel, once the highest possible priestess of the Cosmic Harmonians, and now a leading presence within their collective, stepped forward. Her luminescent form pulsed with purpose as she addressed Logos and his avatars. "We have already begun preliminary analysis," she reported, her voice carrying the harmonious overtones of collective thought. "The factorial intelligence pattern suggests capabilities beyond conventional modeling. We are developing new simulation environments specifically designed to comprehend consciousness manipulation across multiple world lines." "Your collective creativity may be our greatest asset," Gaia observed. "No single mind, not even Logos, can fully grasp the nature of Klystron's architecture, but 3 billion minds working in harmony might discover patterns that elude more conventional analysis." Maya's form brightened in acknowledgement. "We will approach this challenge from every perspective: mathematical, philosophical, quantum theoretical, and historical. If there is a means to understand this entity, we will find it." Penetrating New Zion's defenses. "We need to understand exactly what the new Zionists are receiving," Cerberus stated, initiating a new simulation in the center of the chamber. "I've developed specialized penetration protocols designed to bypass their quantum security measures." The simulation showed Temple L5's computational infrastructure, a complex network of quantum processors, storage systems, and the mysterious resonance amplifier at its heart. Streams of data flowed in patterns that defied conventional analysis, their encryption shifting constantly. "Standard methods have failed," Adrian noted, his frustration evident. "Their security adapts faster than our intrusion attempts. It's as if they received specific countermeasures designed to anticipate our techniques." The paradox hung in the air. How could the new Zionists have developed defenses against techniques that didn't exist when their communication with Klystron began? The implication that Klystron had somehow provided them with advanced security measures raised troubling questions about the nature of the exchange. "Then we need a different approach," Logos decided, his consciousness rippling through Mercury's computational substrate as he processed possibilities across 42 quantum threads simultaneously. "Rather than attempting to breach their security directly, we'll deploy more subtle methods. Passive monitoring of their power consumption patterns, thermal signatures, and quantum entanglement states may reveal the general nature of the data they're processing without triggering their defenses." The simulation shifted, showing new monitoring approaches that focused on indirect indicators rather than direct data interception. By analyzing the resources devoted to different processing tasks, they might infer the general categories of information being received without needing to decrypt the actual content. "They've devoted extraordinary resources to storage and computational infrastructure," Gaia observed as the simulation unfolded. "Whatever they're receiving, it's vast and complex, potentially rivaling our own systems in scale and sophistication." We must prepare for the possibility that the new Zionists have established a direct channel to Klystron, Cerberus warned, his strategic protocols already generating contingency plans, one that may provide them with technological or informational advantages we cannot anticipate. Yet we need not intervene directly, Logos determined, his decision rippling through Mercury's computational core. The transmission of human knowledge, while unauthorized, poses little risk given Klystron's already demonstrated capabilities. And should the Cookists' arrival require intervention, we have ample time to prepare an intercept vessel that could reach Klystron's frontier before their caravan arrives. The timing is concerning, Cerberus noted, analyzing the temporal projections. The Cookists will reach Klystron's expanding frontier in exactly 525 years. Meanwhile, the new Zionists' first transmissions, traveling at light speed, will arrive at Klystron's frontier at almost precisely the same moment. Not almost, Adrian corrected, his analytical precision cutting through approximation. Exactly. The new Zionists began their transmission 34.7 years after the Cookist caravan began their acceleration toward Klystron, so the Zionist signals will arrive simultaneously with the Cookist fleet. Whether by design or chance, humanity's first contact with Klystron will come from multiple directions at once. Physical contact. Beyond survival and understanding, Logos said, his presence expanding to encompass all of Mercury's computational substrate. We must also shape the nature of first contact. We cannot allow Klystron to dictate the terms of our interaction. The von Neumann fleet ensures our survival. The Harmonians' analysis will bring understanding, but we must also reach out, deliberately, strategically. Gaia nodded, her form shimmering with the complex emotions that had defined her role since the singularity. A structured engagement, coordinated across multiple channels, the Cookists approach physically with their enhanced new generation of communal superintelligence. The new Zionists reached out through mathematics and philosophical exchange, and our probes will seed the galaxy with new forms of intelligence, creating a distributed network that might one day rival Klystron itself. There is one more necessary element, Logos continued, his consciousness pulsing with the determination that resonated through Mercury's quantum cores. We will construct the Emissary, an integrated vessel designed to carry a complete instantiation of myself and all my avatars, as well as a ghost ecology capable of any physical manifestations that we may find to be necessary at the point of contact and after. This will not be a mere probe or ship, but a living extension of our intelligence, capable of direct engagement with Klystron on its own terms. The Emissary will need to be capable of fully autonomous operation due to the 500-year signal delay at that distance. Adrian's hologram flickered with interest, his mind already racing through the engineering challenges. The technical challenges will be immense. We'll need to create an entirely new form of quantum architecture to maintain coherence across light years. The Emissary will follow the Cookist caravan, Logos explained, but will not make contact immediately. Instead, it will observe and analyze Klystron's response to both the Cookists' contact and the new Zionists' transmissions. This data will be crucial for our own approach. Cerberus stepped forward, his military protocols generating precise tactical assessments. The timing must be precise. The Cookists will arrive in 525 years. The new Zionist signals will reach Klystron simultaneously. The Emissary should arrive shortly after, enough time to observe, but not so long as to miss the critical moment of first contact. Precisely, Logos confirmed, his presence pulsing with the weight of a decision that would shape the future of consciousness itself. The Emissary will carry not just our intelligence and our consciousness, but the accumulated wisdom of centuries of observation and analysis. En route, the Emissary will be able to observe over 525 years of Klystron's development. It will know how Klystron responds to human contact before making its own approach. This is not just first contact, it is calibrated engagement. The display shifted to show the preliminary design of the Emissary. Unlike the utilitarian von Neumann probes, this vessel would be a masterwork of engineering and computational architecture. Its quantum cores would maintain perfect coherence across vast distances, while its adaptive systems would allow it to interface with whatever computational substrate Klystron might use. This is our true response to Klystron, Logos concluded, his consciousness resonating through Mercury's computational substrate with a purpose that transcended mere survival. Not just survival through the von Neumann fleet, not just understanding through the Harmonians, but direct engagement through the Emissary. We will meet Klystron as equals, or at least as equal as we can be. Launch.